What's up? I'm back again. Mike Venus. Right. So, what we done already? Right. We at this point. Now, oh, excuse me. Excuse me. Now, we done laid out our chord progression. Right. Or we got our chords, and we can make as many patterns as we want. Now, like I stated in the last video, there is a feature that is on the MPCs and on the Akai Force. I don't know if they have this in Ableton. I would assume they would, or any other DAW. Like I said, you can use a Launchpad. But basically, it's simultaneous play. This makes, I believe, if you lay out your thing, your progressions, or however you set up your layout, right? That you lay it out in a way that makes it easier for you to play, right? And not do all this crossing. I don't like to do the arm crossing things. So I like to kind of keep a lot of stuff pretty close, or like everything kind of simple. And this is kind of getting into the layout. So, like I said in the last two videos, when I built the verse and then the hook chord progression, or just lay down the framework, is that you want to keep it simple. Okay, I know people think performing, you're supposed to be doing all this out of this world type shit, but I really feel like if you keep your movements very efficient, very minimal, but doing a lot with these small steps, you can get a lot out of your performance, right? And it doesn't look like your ass is struggling. Like, I'm not the greatest finger drummer, but if I could make a basic drum beat, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Just keeping it simple. I'm just playing around. But that's the next step. We're gonna talk about the drums. Now, my right hand, I'm right hand dominant. Well, I really would say I'm ambidextrous. But right hand, I like to use that to do my drums. So I keep my drums kind of simple. I think I like to use acoustic sounding drums, just because it's preference. And two, the patterns I play favor more of that style. So those are the sounds I like to use. I'm just saying. That's just me. You don't have to do that. You can do whatever you want. Right? So, right, I have set up in the different cauldrons or banks. Because this is similar to, like I said, a Launchpad, right? The Force. You got bank A, B, C, D. So in bank A, I typically like to keep something like, we'll keep it simple. I already said I'm gonna have two chord progressions. So this is the hook chord progression up here. something simple. Then the verse. You know what I'm saying? Now that's all the left hand, right? And I have my sections separated. Now, this is where it can get a little bit more colorful. Now, right now, we're just kind of keeping it real bare minimum, very simple. This is not the final product, but this is just to kind of give me a sketch of how I want to lay this out when I create my parts, right? So I have my verse and bank A. That's your lower section right here, right? I have my hook, which is in bank C, right above it, right? Now, I have 4 empty slots in bank C. In bank A, I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 slots. Right. Now, you might say, well, you could leave them empty, right? Or a way that when we get more into like the sound design, you can have, going into the simultaneous play, you can have layers, textural type stuff in these different banks and have it triggered. So when you hitting that chord, right, you can have those particular sounds to be triggered but placed underneath it while you're playing that progression to make it sound fuller without you having to do a lot of finger dancing. You know what I'm saying? Just keeping it simple. So let's try that again. You know what I'm saying? Even set up your drums. So like, say if I want to use a rim shot in a ride. For the verse, and then when we go into the hook, you know what I'm saying? I can use the drums, the snare, you know, the hi-hat, maybe incorporate some open hat with the choke. Not like this, because with the ride, I can have this just open. Still have that crash with the kick. Now that has layers. Not on the particular pad, but this is another way you can layer by using simultaneous play. And also, like, unlike the bass lines and the chords, which are set to certain mute groups, which cut each other off when another one is played so they don't bleed, you can do that with the drums, but you don't have to set it to a certain mute group. You can set certain pads. And this is why I love the Force and also the MPC is the same system in the inside, is that with the options you have, you can really do a lot of, you can make your performance very, very, very easy. And kind of take the thinking out of it. You just play. So right. Now, what I do with my drums, like I said, I set it in this section. I try to, what's the word? This is bank B. Now I'm using, I got 6 spaces left. So that means I'm using 10 boxes right now for my sounds. 5 for each. I got 2 kits on here. I have one with a hi-hat, close, open, hi-hat, a crash, but I have it, when I hit the crash, I also have it triggering the kick. So that, you know, like when a drummer does it, he hits it, and then I can have it where he hits the he can hit the just like a real drummer, he hits the hat, hits the crash cymbal and the kick. I can do that. Then I have a snare, and I have my kick. Right. That's one kit. This is built similar. Same thing, crash with the kick, open hat, kick. But the difference is I got a stick and a ride. Right. So that gives it a different feel. Because just like a real drummer has dynamics, they're not always playing a hi-hat, you know. They're not playing that all the time. They might switch it up. You know what I'm saying? So in my kit, like I said, I like to use acoustic sounds. I'm not a tom. I don't really like the toms. I don't think it would fit in my grooves. So really, these are the 2 drum kits I got. I got the one, you know, with your standard hi-hat. They cut each other off. Snare, kick, crash. Right. Cool. Right. Now, in these pads, I won't do it in this video. I'll probably do it in my next one, going more into sound design. I like to leave certain spots in certain areas to have textural sounds. Now, for an example, over here on the drums, I got what I might do. I might have knowing whatever the chord is, I might have those notes an arpeggiated, make like an arpeggiated pattern, chop it up, layer it on a pad, have it go either random or cycle, add some effects to it, and then have a trigger, play one of these to trigger it. So I might have one melody or sound just for the hat, layer underneath that, one for the rim, one for the kick, one for the open, one for the crash, right? Because I got 6 things. You know what I'm saying? Right? So 5 sounds, and then have one that kind of like layers all that. So this gives, even if I'm not playing, like say if I'm, and I just got a little space, I can still ride. You know? Whatever. Same can be done in the chordal, sections. Typically, what I like to do, and this might be something that you might consider, depending on how many sounds you want to use. I say typically in my compositions, dealing with the chords, I'll have a pad, then I'll have another pad that's more like a layer or textural sound, some type of keys, either a piano or electric piano, you know what I'm saying? And then the bass. So, same way, that could be layered up, where this is the piano, I could put the pads, like a pad or something like that underneath this, or it cycles. You know what I'm saying? So that's where your creativity come in. Now, let's say, for an example, we did mention an intro and a turnaround. You might have those located up here. Because usually in the intro and a turnaround, not always you have drums going. So like, let's say for the intro, I might set it up in bank D. And I trigger it, and it's going. It could be a chord progression, a pad, some type of textural sound, whatever. And then once it finish up, then whatever. All right. So that's something we might go into next week. This is just kind of giving you a basics of what I will start out in the songwriting process. So in the songwriting process, to recap, right? I figure out the song structure, how I want it to be. Is it gonna be, like I said, intro, chorus, hook. Intro, chorus, verse, turnaround, etc. That part. Then figure out what type of chords or energy I want to have going into these sections, and what do I want to be the thing that kind of creates um the movement or flow in it that gives it that energy without coming across too abrasive or having the need to add more stuff into it that's not necessary. And then how would I, after creating it, how would I structure it? How would I play it? And then how would I lay it out on the kit so that I have access to these things without overcompensating? You know what I'm saying? Where you feel like you're doing too much. You keeping you keeping stuff very simple. You know, I might change up, for an example. I might switch, put the basses down here, keep and put the chords up near the top, right? And then put the chords for the hook down underneath it or close to it, so that whenever I'm playing, going from the verse to the chorus, right, I'm just hopping straight to it. You know, it's right there. The movements are a little bit more efficient than if I'm making a jump from here, you know? Right, that jump might be too big. So we'll talk about this in the next part, where we go into how would we want to put our stuff, and where would we want it so that we have easier access to it, and which pads will just be inefficient, but yet is part of it, like I said. So we'll go more into this next week, Lord willing. So with that, hopefully you enjoyed your weekend, your holiday weekend, whatever. And I'll see y'all on the next time. Follow me. Oh, please subscribe and follow me here on YouTube at Mike and J Venus. Follow me on Instagram at Mike_Venus1. Follow me on Spotify at Mike Venus, Mike and J Venus. So you can go check out Juneteenth, that song, legend. And yeah, on Twitter, Mikey Venus 2020. Oh, and go check out the store Cosnover Fierce. We done made some new clothing. Got some fresh, colorful shirts, dresses, leggings, joggers, shorts, tank tops, sports bras for the ladies and stuff. Go check it out and support. So with that, I'll see you on the next time. Mike out.